Oh, you like a leany, chilly, teeny, eeny, meeny, mo. You know we love you so. We love your jada, ta-da-da. Our lives won't be so dreamy if you let us go. You think we're full of blarney, we're full of chili con carne. Chili bean said, boys, I'm green, I don't know what you mean. You know that I'm so slow. What you want, I do not know. They said, now listen, Chili dear. Oh, by jingo, sent us here. You lankin' leany, chilly beanie. We'll have a lot of little leany meanies. We'll feed them all on weenies, eeny, miny, mo.
Welcome, everyone. I thought it was time to check out Delete Lawz, aka Chille, aka Chelito, on TikTok once again in preparation for his fourth or fifth attempt at his bench trial on March 19th. I am concentrating on only one in particular from Masshole Troll Mafia for this video, because Chille, unsurprisingly, is caught lying with supporting evidence from Chille himself. Oh, and just for you, Chelito, since you think it's legal to copyright your face and logo, even though you claim that you are a public figure and a nationally known journalist, I have included a special description which includes information to the contrary from the U.S. Copyright Office itself. How do you know when Chille is lying? When he opens his mouth, of course. First up, we have a TikTok from June of 2022 from Masshole Troll Mafia. Here, Chille claims he has no criminal record nor has ever been sentenced to a jail cell, yet just 2 months ago he recounted 2 different stories from when he was in jail for being arrested and charged with 5 felonies.
If I escape, I've never been put in jail, so I've never had to escape. I've never been sentenced to a jail cell.
We interrupt this video so Chille can tell one of his tall tales from his harrowing week in jail.
Let me tell you what happened to me when I was in jail. I was in Twin Towers in LA County for a week, charged with 5 felonies, equaling over 20 years in prison for the 5 felonies combined. I was innocent. When I went into the bunk, a guy walked up to me when I went in there. I had a blanket. I was wearing a jumpsuit. They dropped me off, took my shackles off, walked me in the cell, locked the cell behind me. And a guy ran up to me and said, "Yo, who you with?" I had no idea what he was talking about. And I said, I'm in jail. I don't know what you're saying. And he grabbed my wrist and he looked at my name and he said, "Oh, Jose Maria." He said, "You're with us." He said, "Come here, I'll give you a bunk." And I go and I sit with a group of Mexicans and they say, "Yo, your name in here is Hollywood." I said, "Excuse me?" And they said, "Your name's not Jose in here. We'll call you Hollywood." I said, "Okay." And they said, "You're with us. You're with the Latinos. Your name is Jose Maria. You're Latino. You're with us." And they said, "Anything that we ask you to do, we need you to do. And in lieu of that, what we're going to do is we're going to provide you with protection and food, and you'll get your phone privileges and you'll get all these things." 4 days later, at 3:00 in the morning, I went to the bathroom and I went pee in the pooper. It was an outhouse pretty much. And so I peed in the pooper and I went back to bed. At 6:00 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, when the chain gang starts and they start getting the people ready for court and shackling them in chains, the same guy called me over and said, "Hey, Hollywood, come over here. We want to talk to you." There was blankets hanging over a group of bunks that had been put together. And they opened up the blanket and said, "Get in, Hollywood." And I entered inside of there. And in there was 20 Mexicans in a circle. They said, "Hey, Hollywood, sit in the center." I said, "Okay." I sat in the center. And then Shorty said, "Hey, Hollywood, Lil Ray Ray said that he saw you go pee in the shitter last night. Did you go pee in the shitter? We told you you only go pee in the pisser and you go poop in the pooper. You don't pee in the shitter. But Lil Ray Ray said that he saw you last night. Did he see you last night peeing inside the pooper?" I didn't remember. And I said, "I probably did." I said, I don't know the rules. I'm not used to it. I didn't know it. I'm sorry. I made a mistake." And Shorty says, "Okay, guys, Hollywood has admitted to breaking the rules. Who says we knock his fucking teeth out right now? Let's take a vote. So I started apologizing. I'm so sorry, guys. I made a mistake. I didn't mean to. And then Shorty says, Hollywood, they want to knock your teeth out, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go this time. But Hollywood, this means that if we come to you and we ask you to do something for us, you're going to do it, right? Yes, I will, Shorty. Yes, I will. And 3 days later, on the 7th day I'm in jail, racial tensions have gone to a fever pitch. A black didn't let a Mexican use the phone in time to call his girl, and they turned off the phones on day 6. The Mexican who had the phone turned off, his girl left, and he couldn't reach her the next day. He spazzed out and said, the Enners have taken away my girl by not letting me use the phone. La raza, la raza, la raza.
Now, I have cut a lot of his story out of this, and there is still too much detail in it.
But wait, there's more.
They come to me on the 7th day, and Shorty says, hey, Hollywood, listen, we're going to fight the blacks. But what we need you to do is we need you to go and take out Chille. Chille was the head of the blacks. And at the time, I was 27 years old and I was just jacked. And so they come to me and they say, hey, Shorty. Shorty says to me, hey, Hollywood, you're going to be what's called the torpedo. And there's, 8 guys behind him. And I say, what's that? And they say, when we tell you to, you're going to run in. And the first thing you're going to do, you're going to take out Chille. And so when they come to me and say, we need you to go flying over there and attack Chille when we give the word. What am I going to say? I said, okay, Shorty. Okay. Because if I don't, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. They're going to stab me they're going to kill me. And, so I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. So Shamu comes over to me. Shamu's the other white guy, the white-looking guy who's been indoctrinated into the Latino gang. And he says to me, Hollywood, here's what's going to happen. He'd been in jail for a while. He said, when you go flying in and you start fighting Chille, his lieutenants are going to step to the front and they're going to start stabbing you from the side. So when you go in to fight Chille, strike and back out. Strike and back out and look to your sides because they're going to be coming in with knives. What have I done here? I've been no-knock raided for no reason. I've been arrested for no reason. I've been charged with felonies for no reason. I get indoctrinated to a gang for no reason. I have no idea what's going on here. Shamu tells me that they're going to shank me when I go to fight Chille. I'm laying there. I'm getting ready. I'm mentally preparing that I'm going to die. If I don't go in, the people behind me that are with me will kill me. If I go in, there's a good chance that I die. This is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The jail cell, the entire cell with 150 men, dead quiet. Not a single word. The bunks have now been aligned so that they can put the blankets over both sides so you can't see who's the left side, the right side. You can't see because the blankets are down. And so I'm on the top bunk looking over to Shorty for him to give me the signal, right? I'm literally sweating, cascading sweat. I'm cascading sweat. It's hot. Nobody's talking. And I hear, DeCastro! I look up. It's the guard. You made bail. Get your bunk. Let's go. So the 6-8 guards come in. You know how they come in and they got guns and they're pointing them at everybody. And so I then grab my bunk. I go over to Shorty and I say, hey, thanks for everything, man. I shake his hand and I get bailed out of jail that day.
We now continue the TikTok video already in progress.
How much time have you spent being black? How much time have you spent being black?
When I was in jail, I worked out with the black guy. I almost got killed by the brown guys.
Oh my gosh. You have a black friend?
My best friend was black.
And I worked out with a black guy in jail. I was almost murdered, dude. They put me in a circle and said, you're working out with the Enners. If you ever work out with an Enner again, we will kill you for working out with a black man in jail.
That's not how he told the story which he just related from 2 months ago. Huh. Seems to me he might be conflating it with this next story from his harrowing week in jail, or he was just trying to sound like a tough alpha male for the guy on the phone.
In every courthouse in America, they have jail cells right behind the court. It's my first day. I'm charged with 5 felonies. Each one carries 5 years in prison, so I'm looking at 25 years in prison. What happens to me is I go into court and I tell the judge, hey, I'm just going to postpone my arraignment until I have counsel. He says, well, you just want to make your plea? I say, I don't. And they said, well, you're going to have to come back here again tomorrow. And I said, that's fine. I'm back in that little dungeon. I haven't been chained together with 4 people yet. The cell is this big and they've got 25 people in the cell. There's only 2 benches and it's literally 10 feet by 10 feet. I'm sitting between 2 people. I was fortunate to get a bench. All of a sudden, I see over the top of me a shadow. And I look up and there is a gigantic man. He happened to be black, but he's about 6'7". This huge man weighs about 300 pounds, standing right over the top of me. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy wants my bench. So I go, oh, you want me to get up? Because this is a giant of a human being. And he looks at me and he goes, no. When the guard leaves, I'm going to kill you. So I stand up and I'm backing away. And so then this great big guy starts going around the bench to get me. And so then I'm walking around the cell like this. And this is what's happening in this room. And he's slowly walking towards me. But there's so many people's bodies in there laying on the ground, sitting up, that I'm walking between people. And this great big huge giant of a man is following me. And he has the look in his eyes like he wants to kill me. And I'm like, dude, why do you want to do this? And he's just shaking his head at me like he's a total being psycho. And people are starting to get annoyed because I've made 3 or 4 laps now in this thing. I'm begging him, dude, why are you doing this? Please, I don't want to fight you. I don't even know you. And I hear this. And he starts to cough in this way that I have never seen ever in my life before, where slobber is flying out of his mouth and he's he can't get any air into his lungs. And now I've gone from a position where I'm running in a circle away from this man, begging him, why are you doing this? What did I do? I don't want to fight you. I don't even know you. It went from me running to now I'm over kneeling next to this man, pulling on his shoulder, saying, dude, breathe, get your tongue out of your mouth. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And one of the guys in there goes, he's choking up. And I say, choking up? What do you mean he's choking up? Another guy goes, it's PCP. The guy's and slobber is just coming out of his mouth. I mean, it's to the point where I don't want to touch him because he's cascading this mucus all over his face. And so now me and a bunch of other guys are screaming, guards, guards, he's dying, right? The guard walks down like they do, nice and leisurely. And then he goes, yeah, bring a gurney down here. And so then the guard comes down and this guard is as big as this guy was, but he's just white. So this guy was like 6.5 feet tall, 300 pounds. And this guard's like 6.5 feet tall, but he's white. And he's like 300 pounds.
Notice how Chille brings the man's and the guard's skin colors into it? As if that makes all the difference to his story about a big, tall black guy savagely coming after him, while the big, tall white guard doesn't really care about what happens to any of the 25 people in that small dungeon cell. Yeah, and he keeps claiming he's not racist.
And so they come in with the gurney. This is like the fastest I've ever seen them come for medical care. And that took still about a minute or 2. And when they get into the room, they roll the gurney in there and the guards grab this dude, kind of shuck him up on the gurney. The guard is now hitting him in the back and he's hitting him in the back. And he's saying, breathe, breathe. He's hitting him in the back so hard that pretty soon the dude who's choking, he starts saying, okay. He's trying to get the guard to stop hitting him. And then the other guard says, let's take him. And he flips his feet over. They take the gurney and they roll him out. And they shut the door and they lock it. And for me, I'm completely and utterly bewildered. I have no idea what the hell just happened. Number one, why did this guy just stand over me and tell me he's going to kill me when the guards leave? Because he's on PCP. They arrested him on drugs. And they put him in a cell with just regular people who were not on drugs. And then number 2, why was he chasing me? And then number 3, he starts choking up and I now am his caretaker. Number 4, why did the guard beat him like that? I mean, he's taken the palm of his hand and just palm striking and just sticking it into this dude's back. And this happens on my first day transporting between Twin Towers Jail in LA and the courthouse.
I know I said I was only going to do one TikTok from Masshole Troll Mafia, but one other needs to be shown because Chille weaponizes skin color for his own agenda, which was one reason why TikTok removed one of his accounts from its platform. Of course, he sees that as shadow banning or censoring him because he feels he should be able to say and show anything because he's a free American with First Amendment rights. I mean, how dare China TikTok tell him what he can and can't post on its private platform? Or China YouTube regulate his speech, videos, and limit his ad revenue so he can't make the money he expects to make every month? Why, he has a mind to try and sue China YouTube yet again for discriminating against him, for treating him like every other channel on its platform. Okay, enough of that. I need to keep my knee pressure under control. Woosah, woosah. Okay, that's better.
Before I get really started this morning on my work, let me take a pause for the work of the mission that never stops and show you some screenshots I took that just further go to show you why white allyship isn't accepted. This is T. Nathan, and he posted this a little while ago from somebody who calls themselves Delete Lawz, pulled from Instagram, and it says, "I did it because he's black, and really I am a racist."
So this is from Delete Lawz to @TechXCrush. I did it because he's black, and really I'm a racist. I didn't lose any followers because I don't have any followers. The people who stick up with me, we are game changers. We are not social media people. Go on now, shoo fly. Real people are working on real things. Go on now, shoo.
Wow. You don't often get juicy meat like that. A confession. Delete Lawz goes on and on here about how white allyship has been so necessary through history.
Delete Lawz commented @BassGJJ Well, since the videos I've produced since June have over 20 million views on them, what I found is that most of the minority population is uneducated. They don't know the laws and the arrogance is unreal. And how black supremacy has spread through the black population is nothing short of disgusting. Really, to be honest, people like the dweeb here, they spread this idea that they don't need white people. Harriet Tubman needed Isaac Hopper. She also needed Susan B. Anthony, John Brown, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. I digress. I'm sure you know these things. Anyway, I friend requested you so that I could find out your location. I think your kids would love to see you take down a bully. Let's see if you can do it.
Call me confused. Who is Delete Lawz on Instagram? I don't know. I'm not really on Instagram like that these days. But I did look it up. I think there's some of you that probably recognize him better than I do. I mean, I haven't been following him as much as he's been a part of the drama. Let me show you a little bit closer. It's this guy. See the top? Delete Lawz is his username up there. According to the Art of War, you know yourself and you know your enemy. And that's the best strategy. So he's tried to infiltrate by being a teacher of systemic racism and oppression. Meanwhile, he's at the pearly gates of the problem. Let me demonstrate further.
Wall graphic does far more than just define the history of America. What it does is give you conceptual analysis of understanding how the laws were crafted against people of color, how the civil liberties that are stripped from you were actually only intended to be stripped from people of color.
IG, he goes on to say, you think I give a shit about the law community now? I don't.
Delete Lawz to @Matthew20D. You think think I give a shit about the black community now? Do you think after all this I give a fuck what the black community thinks about me? I don't.
Now he's doing that thing white folks do, where they try to flex these lawsuits that aren't even viable with words that don't even mean what they mean, thinking that he can sue everybody for making TikTok videos about him. Fuck out of here.
I could go down the delete Lawz rabbit hole all day long, but at some point this video has to end. So remember to do all the YouTubey things like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and to make sure to hit the bell and press all to get notified when I upload new content. Thank you for watching. You are all awesome. See you in the next video.